Senator is elected to stand, to examine, to question, to decide, and when necessary, to resist. This is what I intend to do. So let the complaint be examined. Let the evidence be tested. Let the law speak. I will answer in the proper forum with documents, with facts, and with the calm confidence of one who knows that accusation is not proof, that attacks couched in legal veil do not constitute the truth. And before the Filipino people, I must say what is plain. A complaint without nexus is not justice. A complaint without evidence is public injury, official favor, corrupt consideration, or abuse of office is not accountability. It is machinery. It is pressure. It is a warning shot fired at those who refuse to kneel. And if that warning was meant for me, Mr. President, then the answer is very clear. It failed. The complaint against me speaks of amounts. It speaks of dates. It speaks of suspicion. But suspicion is not evidence. Amount is not corruption. Political inconvenience is not probable cause. An accusation, no matter how loudly repeated, is not proof. It is a theater. It is pressure. It is machination. Let me state the legal defenses plainly on the allegations against me. The law did not define the limits of liberality among friends. They did not say that friendship must stop at a number chosen by one's accusers. They did not say that generosity becomes criminal merely because the amount is substantial. What the law forbids is not liberality. It forbids corruption. What it condemns is not friendship. It condemns the sale of public duty. At least I stated the truth. At least I faced the issue. At least I did not hide behind silence. So I ask, what of those who receive support, gifts, donations, favors, or assistance for their own electoral campaigns and keep them beyond public scrutiny? Shall the law be a sword only against those who dissent and shield for those who belong to the circle of the powerful? If transparency is demanded, let it be demanded of all. If public morality is the standard, let no one be exempt because of wealth, alliance, influence, or proximity to power. And so I speak again, clearly and directly. What official act did I sell? What vote did I promise? What public fund did I touch? What government contract was delivered? What favor was asked, promised, or given? If they cannot answer these questions, then this complaint is not the pursuit of justice. It is a deliberate attempt to silence dissent. But this is larger than me. This is not a fight for one man. This is not a fight for one faction. This is not a fight for political survival. This is a fight for whether the Filipino people may still have senators capable of questioning, investigating, judging, and speaking freely without fear or favor. When this chamber is called upon to sit in impeachment proceedings, we are not merely politicians. We are senator judges. We are bound to listen, to weigh evidence, to apply the Constitution, and to act according to our conscience. That responsibility cannot be curtailed by fear, pressure, harassment, or manufactured accusation. No one should be allowed to intimidate a senator judge into silence. No one should be allowed to punish a member of this chamber for ensuring that impeachment must be governed by law, evidence, due process, and conscience. Whether one favors or opposes any party in those proceedings, that's not the point. The point is whether the Constitution shall speak above political convenience. I will perform that duty, Madam President. I will listen. I will weigh the evidence. I will obey the Constitution. I will not prejudge. I will not be dictated upon. I will not surrender the independence of my vote to any power outside this chamber. Even if the path becomes lonely, I will walk it. Even if the attacks become heavier, I will endure them. Even if my voice becomes inconvenient to the powerful, I will continue to speak the way I should. The same is true of the Senate's investigation of the flood control scandal. That inquiry must continue. It must not be weakened. It must not be derailed. It must not be silenced. If there has been grand-scale theft from the country's coffers, then that is among the greatest sins of our modern public life. It is not ordinary corruption. It is the stealing of safety from communities that drown. It is the stealing of roads from farmers. It is the stealing of classrooms from children. It is stealing of medicine from the sick, wages from workers, and hope from taxpayers who labor honestly while others feast on public money. No senator should be silenced when the duty is to follow the trail of the public's money. No committee should be weakened when the task is to expose corruption. No voice should be threatened when the question before the nation is whether the billions intended for the people were ransacked by bandits of insatiable greed. I do not fear imprisonment. I fear a country where freedom itself is imprisoned. I fear a republic where legal processes are twisted into weapons, where dissenting voices in the Senate are mechanically trimmed down, and where the rich and the powerful elite manipulate institutions so that only their chosen voices may be heard. While others may refuse to speak because of threats, I will not. Madam President, I will not let fear write my narrative. I will not let intimidation decide my vote. Make me bleed, and I will still shout out to the high heavens for truth and justice. Push me against the wall, and I will still push back with all the lawful strength that conscience, evidence, faith, and duty can give me. Not with violence, not with hatred, not with recklessness, but within the Constitution, in my hand, the law in my shield, the truth as my voice, and the Filipino people as my reason. Nelson Mandela once spoke of a democratic and free society as an ideal for which he was prepared, if necessary, to die. I do not compare myself to Mandela. I am too little to even try, Madam President. But I understand the burden of that lesson. Freedom is never preserved by the silent. It is preserved by those who still speak when silence becomes the safer choice. And so I say this to those who believe that cases can frighten us, that accusation can tame us, that pressure can make us forget the oath we took before the people. You have misread the Senate. You have misread the Constitution. You have misread me. May I repeat? I will answer this complaint in the proper forum, calmly, firmly, and with evidence. I will sit in impeachment proceedings with conscience, impartiality, and due regard for the record. I will pursue the examination of flood control anomalies with courage, fairness, and determination. I will not allow public funds meant to protect our people from floods to disappear into the hands of those who already have too much. I will not allow the greatest theft of our time to be buried under intimidation. Even if I am the only one left standing, I will stand. Even if my voice is the last one they wish to hear, I will still speak. Even if the path becomes lonely, difficult, and costly, I will continue because the oath I took was not ceremonial. It was not a line recited for record. It was a solemn charge from the Filipino people to defend the Constitution, to guard the public trust, and to act with courage when silence becomes convenient. Let those who weaponize the law answer to history. Let those who steal from the people answer to justice. Let those who seek to silence dissent understand this. A senator who remembers his oath cannot be purchased by comfort, cannot be subdued by threats, and cannot be defeated by fear. Madam President, kaya po ba nila kong ipakulong? Kayang-kaya po nila. Nagawa nga po nilang umimbento ng krimen laban sa akin. Kamakailan lamang po, hindi pa nagtatagal, dito rin sa bulwagang ito, somebody said, sometimes you need to bend the law to be able to please the people. Am I right, Mr. Secretary Remulla? Secretary Remulla, then Secretary of Justice, now Ombudsman, said loudly, yes, sir. So pwede na nang baluktutin lahat, kagaya ng pambabaluktot na ginawa nila. Pero sinasabi ko, Madam President, they can imprison me, they can arrest me, but I tell them, they still will not win. Itaga nila yon sa bato. Madam President, before ending, let me share the declarations of our Lord God in Isaiah 54:17. No weapon forged against you will prevail. You will refute every tongue that accuses you. This is the heritage of the servant of the Lord. This is their vindication from me. Maraming salamat po.
Nagpapasalamat po tayo kay Senator Rodante Marcoleta. If there are no interpellations, may we ask the Majority Leader for the
Yes,
referral?
Madam President, may we refer the speech of the distinguished gentleman from Tarlac and Pampanga, Senator Marcoleta, to the Committee on Rules? I so move.
No
Madam
objection?
President.
Hearing none. So referred to the Committee on Rules.
Yes. Madam President, I think Senator Marcos is seeking the floor.
We recognize Senator Amy Marcos.
What's the pleasure,
Thank you. I'd like to make a privileged speech as already reserved from last week.
Is this, Madam President, a privilege speech or a question of personal and collective privilege? Because we have
Personal
yet-
and collective
because we have
privilege.
yet to dispense with, proceed to the reference of this. If it's a question of privilege, we will
Yes.
accede, Madam President.
Yes, I rise on a matter of personal and
The
collective
good lady
privilege.
senator has indicated that she's rising on a matter of personal and collective privilege. We recognize once again Senator Annie Marcos.
Thank you very much. Magandang hapon po, Madam President, our Majority Leader, the ladies and gentlemen of the Senate. I rise today on a matter of personal and collective privilege to address a pressing issue of utmost national importance. For far too long, our Filipino people have been left uncertain, confused, deliberately kept in the dark regarding the true intentions behind the continuing and increasingly belligerent efforts to append the new Senate leadership and, worse, to amend the Constitution. The Filipino people deserve clarity. The Filipino people deserve honesty, and above all, the Filipino people deserve at least the truth. Madam President, today I will not rely solely on my own words. I will present before this chamber a short video containing documentation, footage, and statements directly connected to the ongoing efforts toward term extension and charter change. With your permission, therefore, may we now direct the technical team to play the video presentation.
Bakit nagpalit ng liderato sa Senado?
May I be allowed to humbly move to declare all seats vacant, Mr. President?
With 13 affirmative votes, 10 negative votes, and 1 abstention, the positions in all the positions in the Senate is hereby declared vacant.
Bakit ito nilusob? Bakit patuloy ang pananakot?
Talagang garabalan, obvious na obvious, hindi isa-isa ang majority.
Bakit may panggigipit?
Pinakakasuhan ng Ombudsman si Senator Rodante Marcoleta ng plunder at indirect bribery.
Bakit may pambabaluktot ng kwento?
Nililito nila ang publiko. Ang kahinan ay naganap alas 4 ng hapon. Ang barilan alas 7. Pinagmamalaking lang may nangangusta. Si Camille Villar ang unang nag-update. Saka sila nagsi-reply. Last convo, 4 p.m. Next chat, 10 p.m.
Bakit may demolition job? Bakit may pait? Bakit hindi matanggap? Napakaraming bakit. At narito ang mga sagot. Pero bago ang katotohanan, wasakin muna natin ang kasinungalingan.
I, Alan Peter Shram Cayetana, having been elected to the position of Senate President,
Hindi nagpalit ng liderato para sa impeachment. Hindi totoo ang pinapakalat ng mga nabulaga.
Ito this time, medyo nagkabulagan.
Ang impeachment ay labanan ng numero. Hindi ang mga Duterte aligned ang dapat mangamba, kundi ang mga sa umpisa pa lang ay may hatol na.
Ang sinasabi sir ng ibang mga kritiko, itong Senate leadership shake-up ay tungkol lang daw sa impeachment.
Lahat na i-connect. As I told you, may 12 kami. Si Bato is 13. So kahit nawala naman siya, ang pinag-uusapan dito is whether or not you will be able to get 16 votes. Hindi siya pagmumulan ng 16 votes. Wala siya doon eh. 12 kami. Bakit kami magkuku? May 12 na kami kung ang pinag-uusapan lang natin ay impeachment.
Actually, 9 lang ang kailangan para ma-dismiss.
Yes, 12 kami. So it's more than the required votes. But that's not the point. Ang ano kasi pinipilit nilang i-connect doon. Kaya ako natatawa. What is the connection there?
Gusto pang ipa-inhibit ang mga tinatawag nilang Duterte-aligned senators. Nananawagan pa ng partial kuno at pagiging patas, pero sa publiko, may mga pahayag na hindi makakatakas.
While VP Sara is in power, the threat of a full-blown Duterte comeback is still a very real and present danger.
Bakit ganito ang desperasyon? Bakit hindi maikubli ang gigil?
No.
Bakit natataranta ang lahat?
Mr. Speaker, I move to endorse to the Senate the resolution setting forth the articles of impeachment.
Narito ang pagsisiwala. Noong April 22 sa Soler, nagkita si Tito Soto at House Speaker D para pag-usapan kung ano ang papakialaman sa 1987 Constitution habang nakaupo si Bongbong Marcos. Kasama ni House Speaker D ay si South Cotabato Congressman Ferdinand Hernandez. Kasama ni Soto ay ang dating Senate Secretary na si Mark Mendoza. Konas ang gusto nilang mode ng charter change.
Muling sinusulong sa Kamara ang charter change o pag-amyenda sa konstitusyon sa pamamagitan ng Constitutional Convention.
Is something big brewing inside the government to claims of a possible no-election scenario.
Ang pag-aamyenda ng konstitusyon sa pamamagitan ng Constituent Assembly.
At para makakuha ng suporta sa Senado at sa Kongreso, ito dapat ang mga nilalaman. Dapat ma-extend ang termino ng mga senador at congressmen na mawawala na sa pwesto by 2028. Ang eleksyon sa bawat senador ay magiging by region Nadiskusyon sila kung 2 o 3 senador per region. Kinompute nila kung mayroong 18 regions, nasa 36 o 54 ang magiging senador. Lumutang din ang usapang para hindi makaporma si Inday Sara sa 2028, gawing 50 years old ang edad ng pwedeng tumakbo. Pero nagpanukala rin si Soto na pwedeng gawing 35 years old para kay Vico Soto. Dahil ipagmamayabang niyang kayang talunin ito si Inday Sara.
Meron ako idadagdag, maganda, Vicky. Ibaba natin ang edad ng presidente to 35. Magagaling ng bata na yun eh. Magagaling eh. Ibigay na natin sa mga kabataan na pagpatakbo nitong bansa. Baka puro matino pa ilagay natin.
Baka sabihin nila, Senator Soto, this is to siguro allow your nephew, ba, si Vico, na tumakbo.
Sabi ko na,
Maging qualified.
mag-iisip sila ng ganun eh. Sabi ko na, mag-iisip sila ng ganun eh. Wala, hindi ko naisip si Vico. Hindi ko naisip si Vico.
Ang impormasyong ito ay mula mismo sa kasama sa meeting. Kasama din nila ay isang congressman, isang gobernador, isang retired military officer, isang dating may mataas na katungkulan, at 5 mula sa private at business sector. Kaya ba binaliwala ang panawagan ng taong bayan? Kaya ba binaliwala ang paalala ng Iglesia ni Cristo?
Eh hindi po nagbabago ang bilin ng Iglesia ni Cristo, Nelson, na ang Iglesia ni Cristo po ay tutol sa impeachment.
Kaya ba nagtatapang-tapangan ang mga umaastang bida sa ginagawa nilang tunay na drama? Kaya ba nila sinasabing hindi sila natatakot sa eleksyon ay dahil alam nilang walang eleksyon na magaganap?
Hindi po kami natatakot sa susunod na eleksyon.
At ang boto sa impeachment ay refleksyon ng boto sa pagsira sa 1987 Constitution. Pabor ang karamihan sa mga pagbabago sa saligang batas, lalo na sa usaping ekonomiya. Ngunit kung papakialaman ng iilan ang konstitusyon para maghari-harian at para sa pansariling kapakinabangan, makapwesto ng matagal o mailuklok ang kamag-anak, humanda kayo sa galit ng bayan. Ang pagpapalit ng liderato sa Senado ay hindi kakaiba. Ito ay nakabase sa prioridad at gusto ng mga senador. Bumabahana ng ebidensya laban kina Bongbong Marcos, Liza Marcos, Sandro Marcos at Marvin Romualdez. Kailangan ng may bayag sa Blue Ribbon Committee. Ipinangako na sa mga korap na mambabatas ang perang maliliko sa 2027. 2028 national budget dapat pigilan.
2028. Alam natin, that's the election budget. And it was assured to the congressman, this will also be the con-ash budget.
Nagiging isa ng malaking sindikato ang pamahalaan. Sinusuportahan ito ng mga dating kalaban, mga tinulungang manalo noong nakaraang eleksyon, mga may galit sa nagdaang administrasyon. Lahat sila kasama ng pinakamalaking troll farms at ilang bahagi ng mainstream media ay pinagagana ng 2 bagay. Pera galing sa korupsyon, galit sa mga Duterte. Mahalaga ang liderato ng Senado para sa mga korap at nakasandal sa mga buwaya ng kapangyarihan. Ngunit mas mahalaga ito sa mga naninindigan na ang Senado ay bantayog ng konstitusyon na hindi dapat pinatakot, sinusuhulan at iniipit upang maging tau-tauhan. Maaaring hati ngayon ang Senado. Maaaring kanya-kanyang bersyon ng kwento. Wala nang pakialam kung ano ang totoo. Isa itong indikasyon na gumagana ang demokrasya. Kailangan lang maalala ng bawat senador na kahit sila ay may kapangyarihan, hindi dapat nila malimutan magpakatao. Sa kabila ng lahat ng problema, pinakamababang halaga ng piso sa kasaysayan, mataas na bilihin at gasolina, kawalan ng trabaho, halos wala nang makain, nagpapakamatay na mga magsasaka. Ang inuuna ay politika, impeachment at kung ano-anong propaganda para mabalik ang kontrol sa Senado ng mga nangako na maisakatuparan ang pagpapahaba ng panahon sa kapangyarihan.
Kung magde-deny yung mga nandoon sa meeting na yon at pabubulaanan yung aking sinabi, then sasabihin ko kung sino ang nagsiwalat sa amin. Kasi magugulantang ang buong bansa pag siniwalat ko kung sino yung nagsabi sa amin.
Impeachment, no elections, term extension. Ito ang inaatupag ng ilang mambabatas na nagiging mambubutas ng sikmura ng taong bayan. Inuuna ito kesa gutom, trabaho, kalusugan, kabuhayan. Gusto nilang pahabain ang paghihirap ng Pilipino Gusto ata nilang gumapang ang bayan sa dusa, gaya ng paggapang ng mga buhaya sa kaban ng bayan at konstitusyon. Ginoong Pangulo, Ginang Pangulo, hindi ko inaakalang aabot sa punto ng buhay ko na ako, isang Marcos, magtatanggol ng 1987 Constitution, isang saligang batas na isinulat laban sa aming pamilya. Pero sa huling pagbisita ko sa libingan ng mga bayani sa puntod ng aking ama, pinaalala ako ng mga katagang nakasulat sa kanyang himlayan, Pilipino. At bilang Pilipino, bilang isang lingkod bayan, bilang isang kaisa-isang anak ni Ferdinand Marcos na may lakas ng loob na tumindig para sa ating bansa, dapat protektahan natin ang saligang batas ng Pilipinas. Nitong mga nakaraang linggo, hindi lang ako basta Pilipino, hindi lang ako basta senador, naging reporter pa at vlogger dahil walang mag-cover sa totoong nangyayari. Pero napakaraming nagko-cover up sa mga korap na politiko. Kung meron nakakaalam sa galit ng bayan pagdating sa pagpapahaba ng poder sa kapangyarihan, nasa unahan na ako ng listahan. Hindi ako makakapayag na walang maisabuhay sa mga aral ng kasaysayan. Noong naharang natin ang PI na yan, People's Initiative, noong Enero 2024, hindi naman sila tumigil. Noong 12 ng Agosto 2025, unang inihayag ni Bongbong Marcos ng ating Pangulo na hindi niya tututulan ang isang Constitutional Convention o CONCON upang ayusin umano ang mga butas sa saligang batas, kasunod ng pahiwatig ng Kongreso na sumusuporta nito. Pagsapit ng Nobyembre, nung nakaraang taon din, naghain na si Congressman Ronaldo Puno at mga miyembro ng NUP, National Unity Party, ng House Bill 5870 naglalayong magpatawag ng Constitutional Convention upang magmungkahi ng mga amyenda sa konstitusyon. Noong 30 ng Enero 2026, nagpahayag naman si dating Senate President Soto ng suporta sa pagtalakay ng mga amyenda sa konstitusyon matapos ang desisyon ng Korte Suprema kaugnay ng impeachment laban kay VP Sara Duterte. Agad itong ikinatuwa ng tropang NUP na nagsabing mahalaga ang kooperasyon ng Senado upang maisulong ang mga reforma sa saligang batas. Gayunpaman, noong ika-31 ng Enero 2026, sumagot ang Malacanang, hindi raw prioridad ang charter change o CHA-CHA dahil nakatutok umano ang Pangulo sa mga isyong pang-ekonomiya. Isang pahayag na inilabas matapos magpahayag ng suporta si SP Soto noon sa pag-amyenda ng konstitusyon. Sa gitna ng debateng ito, naghain noong ika-7 ng Pebrero 2026 yung dating ARTA, Rabindranath Kilala, ng isang radikal na panukala, buwagin ang Senado, pati na rin ang Kongreso at lahat ng lokal na sanggunian, paltan ng isang National Legislative Assembly, maari umano makatipid ng hanggang 1 trilyong taon-taon. Nung nakaraang buwan, formal din hinikayat ni Congressman Puno at ng NUP ang liderato ng Kamara na simulan ng pakikipag-usap sa Senado hinggil sa charter change sa pamamagitan ng Constitutional Convention. Ginamit pa nila ang pagiging bukas ni SP Soto sa constitutional amendments bilang oportunidad para sa koordinasyon ng dalawang kapulungan. Sa huli, noong 14 ng Mayo 2026, mariing itinanggi ng Malacanang ang akusasyon ni Senate President Alan Peter Cayetano na sinusubukan ng palasyo pahinain ang Senado. Binigyan diin ng palasyo na hindi pinag-uusapan ng CHA-CHA at inulit ang pananaw ng Pangulo na hindi ang pag-amyenda ng saligang batas ang sagot sa kasalukuyang problema ng bansa. Ngunit hindi ito ang nangyayari sa labas ng palasyo. Ang NOEL at term extension ay buhay na buhay sa mga patay na patay sa kapangyarihan. Pagkat sa kasalukuyang ika-20, ika-20 Kongreso, maraming panukalang naglalayong baguhin ang konstitusyon. Mula sa House Bill 368 ni Congressman Abante na nagsusulong ng CONCON hanggang sa Resolution of Both Houses No. 1 ni Congressman Garbin. Sinundan pa ng Resolution of Both Houses No. 2 naglalaman ng mungkahing ibaba sa 35 anyos ang minimum age requirement ng Presidente at ang Vice-Presidente 30 ang edad. Bukod dito, Congressman Richard Gomez naghain ng Resolution No. 3 upang amyendahan din ang Constitution. Meron pang Resolution number 4, nagmumungkahi gawing 3 taon na lamang, 3 magkakasunod na termino ang panunungkulan ng mga senador. Nariyan ang House Resolution 460 ni na Congressman Oreta, Congressman Remulla, Congressman Daza at iba pa na bibigyan linaw daw ang kahulugan ng forthwith sa impeachment. At mula noong Abril, habang hinihikayat ng mga congressman na bumoto sa impeachment, malakas ang ugong ng NOEL sa 2028. Lumutang na rin ang mga detalye. Magte-term extension ang mga congressman at madadagdagan ng 3 taon na mananatiling nakaupo sa pwesto hanggang 2031. Ganon din, 2028. Ganon din ang mga senador, pati ang Pangulo, hanggang 2031 na raw. Kung may eleksyon man sa 2028, sa lokal na lang. Kaya, Visayas o Mindanao ka man, suportado ng iglesia o hindi, walang problema dahil walang eleksyon. Kaya ang tanong ngayon, ayaw ba talaga ng palasyo sa Chacha o kunwari lang? O talaga bang wala ng respeto sa Pangulo? Bukod kay Lito Banayo, napakarami kong sources patungkol sa mga meeting na naganap para sa isinusulong na Constituent Assembly o CONAS. Mga kalipunan ng mga politikong hindi nananalo sa mga matataas na posisyon, inaambisyon nila. Kung hindi kayang manalo sa boto, baguhin na lang ang konstitusyon. Noon pa man, hindi ako naging hadlang sa pagbabago, kumpara lamang sa ekonomiya at ikagiginhawa ng buhay ng Pilipino. Pero magagaling ang mga buwaya, tahimik na gumagapang upang malamon pati ang konstitusyon. Kung nagsisinungaling ang mga nagsumbong sa akin, kung sasabihin kasinungalingan ang sinabi ko ngayon at ang pinalabas, hinihikayat ko ang mga senador ngayon sa ating bulwagan. Ipangako natin sa taong bayan na may eleksyon sa 2028 mula sa presidential hanggang sa lokal. At Madam President, magiging masaya akong mapatunayan na mali ako dahil ibig sabihin nun mananalo ang tama. In the interest of time and that this chamber may proceed with its scheduled legislative business, I will not entertain any interpellations at this juncture and would rather allow the facts in the video as well as confronting this nation to resonate fully with this chamber and the Filipino people. I urge this body to look deeply into what we have witnessed today, act with vigilance, courage, and fidelity to the Constitution we swore to defend. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you.
Madam President, may I make
Yes, we recognize Senator Mixubi.
point of order? Madam President, the point of order. Under Section 93, 94, 95 on unparliamentary acts and language, I just want to point out that the video that the lady senator presented was obviously opinionated, a propaganda tool, right? It's should be stricken off the record, Madam President. And it's unparliamentary. We've seen videos presenting evidence on issues that are taken up on the floor. Senator Tulfo always comes out with videos showing people being mobbed, people being abused for the information of this body to act on that particular issue. But to come up with an opinionated piece like that, ganong klaseng video na propaganda, na showing intrigue. Kasi ako, Madam President, hindi naman ako sang-ayon sa people's charter change. I was the first one in this institution who fought that kind of move with the PI, and all of us together, kaming lahat, for the first time in the history of the Senate, 24 senators tumayo dyan at pinasapo natin yung Contra People's Initiative, na fake People's Initiative, na talagang kinall out natin yung lahat ng grupo ng tumutulak nun, from the Speaker and even Malacanang, kinalaban natin. Kaya wala kaming kinalaman dyan. Bakit sinama kami dyan sa propaganda na yan? Na dahil kami, Duwag 11? Ano ba yan? Bulaga 11? At grade 13? That should not be shown here. Because what will stop us now, Madam President, for that lady senator, that we come up also with a propaganda video here, papalabas din namin, yung mga sala nila. Oo, kung ano-ano, hindi naman kami ganyan. No? To gain traction, to gain views and publicity, will destroy our fellow colleagues here. Walang ganyanan. Hindi ako nagagalit, kilala niyo ako pinaka-amiable dito, mahal ko kayo lahat. Pero hindi tama yung pangyayaring iyon. Hindi ba? Kung galit po kayo, magsalita po siya dyan, magalit siya sa gobyerno niya, magalit siya sa kapatid niya, murahin niya kapatid niya. Pero wag naman niya idamay yung mga tao na walang kinalaman dyan. Katulad yan, never ako kinausap ni Senate President Soto. Never ako kinausap ng mga kasamahan ko dito about charter change. Kasi alam din nila, tutol ako. Tinanong ko din sila, wala silang kausap, wala silang kinalaman, wala silang alam sa charter change. This whole group is just nodding, shaking their heads. There is no such thing. Inday-badiday na ba tayo dito sa Senado? Kaya nga sinasabi, we're a circus. I apologize to those who are watching. They think we're a circus. We are a circus because this type of language that we are pushing in this August chamber, it's unparliamentary, Madam President. It is unparliamentary. And I'll tell you now, these people here, ladies and gentlemen, in this body are not in favor of any amendments to the Constitution. We just want to bring back the integrity of this same chamber. Cannot we discuss that as a group, as a body, that we fight for our integrity, for the good name to be brought back, for people like Jokno, people like Tanyada, people like Aquino, people like Salonga, even Frank Drilon, people like Miriam Defensor Santiago, Joker Arroyo, who stood here for what was the best times of our institution. Have we forgotten that and we've made it already like a circus? Madam Chair, I do not agree. Because I'm not Macamarcos. I'm not, so when you come up with a propaganda tool like that, hitting all of us, it makes us look that we are, nasa panig po kami ng mali at nasa panig po kami ng mga demonyo. Diba? May panindigan po kami lahat dito, Madam President. So therefore, you can see my passion on this. I move to strike the horrible propaganda video off the records of this great institution, Madam President.
Before I recognize the former Senate President, may I ask the former Senate President, Senator Subiri, is that transformed into your motion?
Yes, that's a motion.
That is your motion.
That is a motion, Madam.
Yes. So before we act on your motion, may I hear first from the Minority Leader
Thank
and
you.
then Senator Tulfo? Yes. Is it a
Thank you, Your
manifestation or a
Honor.
motion as
Thank you
well?
very much, Your Honor. Well, this is a way of seconding the motion of Senator Subiri. First of all, the presentation, or what we call the editorial video that we witnessed, yes. I would like to take exception of my being mentioned there. Parang lumalabas na parang lahat ng narinig nila or nakipag-meeting sa akin ang speaker o kung sino pa, parang pumayag ako. Sana tinanong nila yung source nila, pumayag ba ako? Yung mga binabanggit na idea, I did not even mention it to any member of the Senate. Tungkol doon sa mga ideas of, let's say, a regional Senate and all that. Itong mga idea ng mga tao to eh. Di ba? Kung nakikinig ka, narinig mo yung idea, ikaw ba'y sumang-ayon na? Dahil narinig mo? For example, in my case, I have never been in favor of charter change. Never. From the day I became a senator up to the present, ang dami namin pinagdaanan dyan. Ang mas gusto ko, CHA. C-H-A. Not charter change. Ang kailangan natin, CHA, character change. That is what we need. Kaya kung merong, let's say, may idea ang Speaker of the House, gustong kausapin ng Senate President at sinasabi nila, meron silang mga membro, ganito, idea ganito, nag-idea ganito. Ay, ibig sabihin ba nun, mali na kagad ako dahil narinig ko? Did I agree? Ang sabi ko pa nga, if we're going to change amend, not change amend, ang nabanggit ko. If you're going to amend the Constitution, baka ako pumayag sa isang bagay lang. Sabi ko, at yun may kumbaga sa in jest ko pa sinabi. Sabi ko, ibaba natin ang edad. Bakit sa Amerika, 35 years old ng presidente? Ang senator, 30. Bakit sa atin 40 and 35? Kaya mali pa rin yung sinasabi doon sa isa sa comment sa the distinguished lady na sinasabi, gusto ko raw iakyat into 50 para ma-disqualify doon sa Sara Duterte. That's not true, Mr. President, Madam President. That's impossible. I never said that. Diba? I have nothing to do with the proposal for any elections of Sara Duterte in 2028. For all you know, I might vote for her. Di ba? Ano ba yan Hindi pa pwedeng porque pinag-uusapan, narinig mo, yun na kagad. At saka lalabas dito na para bang ako yung nakikiisa. I have nothing to do with the allegations of Chacha. I heard the proposals. I never brought it up to my colleagues. Any one of them. Hindi ko binanggit As a matter of fact, there was one time na sinasabi yung meeting daw namin, Senator Lacson was there. he dropped by because he had the board meeting. Tapos sabi ko, tama-tama, nagkamali siya ng pasok. Andun lang kami. Well, it's not a room. It's just the VIP area that's open, very open. Sabi ni Senator Lacson, ang ginagawa nyo rito? Nagkamali ako ng pasok. Hindi, sabi ko, nagkwentuhan lang kami. Sabi ko, at tinanong ko pa siya, ilan ba yung kwartong pinapagawa sa new Senate building? I even asked him that. Bakit? Sabi niya, why? Ito kang kako, yung mga congressmen gustong gawing regional. Gusto nilang gawing 36 ang mga senador. Sabi ko, tatanong ko kung kakasya ron. We were joking. So yung mga source na nakikinig ng mga kwento, parang, they make it sound sinister. Mag-ingat po tayo sa mga ganong kwento. Hindi ko sinasabing hindi nangyari. Nangyari. Yung nag-usap kami, nakita kami. As a matter of fact, you will not be surprised. You should not be surprised if I often see Bojidi. Because Bojidi is my golf mate. Ang mga golfing friends namin, every now and then, nagkaka-dinner kami. And during that time, na pinag-uusapan nila yung na binabanggit na nag-meeting daw kami dahil sa Chacha. Parang ganun ang dating eh. That's not true. Ang talagang topic namin was the new TW777 of Honma Meres. It's a new set of clubs that Speaker Boji was telling me that he wanted to buy and asked me if I tried it already. Kami mga golfing buddies na grupo. Even Dom Mendoza was there because Dom Mendoza is NPC also. He's the Secretary General of NPC. So pagka nakikita-kita kami almost, every 2 weeks? Every month, we have an NPC meeting. We always miss you, Madam President, because you seldom attend. So hindi dapat masamahin kung nag-uusap-usap ang mga politiko, kung may mga idea mga politiko. That's why I really take offense. I take exception to what was presented. But I don't care about what the other mention or the other things that were mentioned. But as far as the issue of my involvement in Chacha is concerned, I vehemently deny. Definitely, I have nothing to do with that. And I second the motion of Senator Subiri that the editorial video should be stricken off the record because it appears na parang mayroon tayong sinister na plano na kasama kami. Thank you.
Yes.
Madam President.
Thank you very much. Just so that there's a proper order, according to who first raised his hand, I saw Senator Erwin Tulfo. I saw Senator...
I am objecting to the motion, Madam President.
Let me just... Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, was it? Senator Kiko Pangilinan and Senator Ping Lacson, and Senator Bam Aquino, Senator Rafi Tulfo, and Senator Rodante Marcoleta. I hope I am not accused of favoring the minority, although I heard the good senator. Yes, Senator Marcoleta may speak after
Madam
Senator
President,
Rubin. Yes.
I think I need to be heard because I am the one who objected to the motion.
Oh, there's been an objection. Okay.
Yes.
The others are seconding the motion of Senator Miguel Zubiri. And
Yes, Madam President,
Senator
I think-
Dante Marcoleta is objecting to the motion to delete off the record the privilege speech. May we, the video in the privilege speech, we take note of that. May we hear the other seconding motions? And I think I've recognized the others in that order. Yes, we take note
Madam President, will
of
you
the
not
objection.
hear why I objected? I
Yes.
need to register the reasons why I objected to the motion.
Madam President, I raised my hands immediately after. So I guess, siguro,
May I-
before hearing the objection of the good gentleman
That is what the
from
chair
Pampanga.
will, actually, that is what the presiding officer will actually say, that we will listen in the order that I mentioned, the seconding motions, and we will likewise listen to the objection so noted by Senator Marcoleta and all the reasons pertaining to the objection, and we will vote on the measure because there is an objection. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I second the motion to strike that off our records, that video presentation presented earlier, Madam President. Because, Madam President, all senators of this chamber, be it the majority, be it the minority, we need respect, or we deserve respect, Madam Chair. We must not tolerate presentation of unparliamentary acts yung ating institusyon, Madam Chair, isisirain doon po sa video presentation. Nasisira po yung ating institusyon. And what we're trying to do, Madam Chair or Madam President, instead of trying to regain yung credibility of this Senate, ano na lamang po at babanatan po natin mismo ang ating institusyon. Wala pong iniwan yon, Madam President, nasisirain po natin ang sarili nating tahanan. Mabuti po sana kung facts-based po yung mga iprinisit na kanina. Haka-haka lamang po. Akala ko nga po, fake news yung pinapanood ko, which I believe is fake news, which I believe is just an opinion, an idea of one person or one group, Madam President. I think, so I therefore seconded the motion that the video recording be stricken off the records of the Senate. Thank you, Madam President.
Take note of that. Next is Senator Kiko Pangilinan. We recognize.
Thank you, Mr. President. I likewise support the and second the motion to strike off the record the video, Mr. President. Clearly, disinformation has no place in this chamber, Mr. President. Sowing of intrigues has no place in this plenary hall, Mr. President. Fake news has no place in this plenary hall, Mr. President. And I say this by presenting the facts, Mr. President. This representation was chairman of the Constitutional Amendments Committee from August 12 until May 11. And the records will speak for itself. Sabi nga nila, we should seek the truth from the facts and not from disinformation video propaganda. What are the facts? From August 12 until May 11, Mr. President, the Committee on Constitutional Amendments never held hearings on constitutional change. That in itself is proof, Mr. President, that this haka-haka, this conspiracy to commit or to amend the Constitution for whatever reason, self-serving, term extension, NOEL, etc. These are lies, Mr. President. At least in this plenary hall and in this chamber, the Senate did not entertain charter change under my watch as chairman of the Committee on Constitutional Amendments. For the record, Mr. President, and I support the striking of the record, that it be stricken off the record, Mr. President.
Thank you. We take note of that, Senator Pangilinan. Just for the record, so that it is clear that's Rule 34, Section 93. Acts and language which offend the senator or any public institution shall be deemed unparliamentary. And Section 94, no senator under any circumstances shall use offensive or improper language against another senator or against any public institution, just for the record. We recognize then Senator Sherwin Gatchalian.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, for the record, never ho namin napag-usapan po ang charter change. CONAS, CONCON, People's Initiative, never po lumabas yung pangalan ng charter change sa aming pag-uusap. Nag-uusap po kami tungkol ho kung paano ho natin maiayos ang mga problema ho ng ating bansa. Higit sa lahat, paano ho mabalik ang tiwala ng taong bayan sa ating institusyon. Aminado ho tayo, pag tayo po ay umiikot sa buong Pilipinas, nakakausap po natin ang ating mga constituents, marami hong nagulat, maraming nagalit, at marami hong nadismaya. At ito ay hamon sa ating lahat, hindi lang po sa ating Senate President, kundi sa ating lahat kung paano ho tayo magtutulong-tulong, maibalik po ang dignidad at respeto ng taong bayan sa ating institusyon. Kaya mga kasama, itong mga lumalabas na video na ganito, hindi ho ito nakakatulong. Bagkus, ito rin po ay magkakaroon ng negatibong epekto sa pananaw po ng ating mga kababayan sa institusyon na mahal ho natin, ang gusto ho natin protektahan. So with that, Madam President, let me second the motion of Senator Miguel Zubiri, invoking Section 93 of our rules, acts, and language which offend a senator or any public institution shall be deemed unparliamentary. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr.
Gangster, you know, we do that better than anybody. I bet you got it twisted, you don't know who to trust. So many player hating niggas trying to sound like us. Say they ready for the front, but I don't think they know it. Straight to the depths of hell is where them cowards going. Well, all you still down, nigga, holler when you see me. And let these devils be sorry for the day they finally free me. I got a caravan of niggas every time we ride. Hitting motherfuckers up when we pass by. Until I die, live the life of a boss player. Cause even when I'm high, fuck with me and get crossed later. The